Hi, this is Joelle, and I am the Viberarian. I am here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. I wanted to come on today because there is a message and information that is coming through me that I am very, very excited about. As you can see here, I have my dear sister, Althea Grace, also known as Soul Whisperer, for the video today. Althea, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm very excited, and just as always happens with me is I'm always receiving information from spirit, and sometimes it happens so fast and furious that it's hard to really process the information, and so I have to go into meditation, and then more information then is unpacked based on what has happened rapidly once I give it more time to unfold, if you will. So last week, we were connecting. I reached out because we had not been in contact for some time, and it was time for us to connect some dots. So I surprise called Althea, and we started having a conversation that turned out to be very, very timely. So we are connected through meeting each other on a mutual friend's YouTube channel in her chat room, Southern Mystic Kaia Ra. And over the year that or plus that we've been connecting and dialoguing, we began to connect personally because we are of similar resonance. And I saw what Althea was doing with her YouTube channel, Soul Whisperer, and reached out to connect and interview her for my show, The Psychic Inside. And we had a wide-ranging discussion. I'll definitely be linking the interview in the comments section to this video so people can tap in more. And so I've found that Althea publishes every day a kind of daily tarot tip and internal check-ins and brings forth messages from her divine guidance that I found very helpful. So last week when we were talking, we both realized that we had received messages that we felt were related to the present experience of this pandemic and the coronavirus and what is happening on a global scale. Around the same time, I think 2018, 2019, way before any of this happened, both of us received channeled visions and guidance. And so we started sharing those things and unpacking this psychic premonition, if you will. And what we ended up resolving, the final thing was that no matter what the vision of what's happening, that ultimately we are in a position to create the vision we want to see going forward. And I think that is kind of where both of our messages ended up. There's certainly a lot more discussion to have around the pandemic and the response that we're having to it. And I'm sure that we'll be back to do it. But today I wanted to focus in on one very key point. As I was talking with you, you were fidgeting and fiddling with, I can only say you were holding the hand of your friend, and it was your crystal friend, a rhodochrosite. And I remarked at the time how amazing this particular crystal was. And you started to tell me a little story, but it was kind of at the end of our conversation, so I didn't have time to go deeply in. But you said, oh, this is a crystal, it's been with me a long time, I take it everywhere. It was a beautiful story. So we kind of finished our conversation, and then the next day you did a series of videos that connected the dots from our conversation and brought out more guidance. And another channel that I watch, Divine Love Crystal Grid, a young lady named Nikki out of the UK, she set up a crystal grid to help bring all twins into union and to bring unconditional love to the planet and raise the frequency. So her channel, she's always publishing synchronicities and symbols and readings. She's very, very active and just full of love in her spirit. She's published several books of letters that were channeled letters that she was received from the higher planes, all kinds of angels and beings and twin flame self. And lo and behold, her reading that she gave that next morning was the crystal rhodochrosite. So here it is in 24 hours. Rhodochrosite is mentioned. And in her card, the card number is 14 in the deck she used. Now, 14 is always a very special sign to me because I'm born on the 14th of the month. So when I see that, I'm like, okay, Spirit, what message do you have for me? So I knew that I needed to tie these things together and that there was an information that was going to come in. So I just want to pop out real quick and show everybody by sharing my screen, you know, what it is that I'm talking about here. So let me work this technology here.
Do it.
Okay, so here is Soul Whisperer's channel. As you can see, vibrating resonance of the rainbow frequency, and of course our interview on the Psychic Inside show. And I definitely invite you to subscribe to this channel. It's definitely high vibe information. We had our first live stream with you earlier today. I was super excited, and great messages came out during that live feed as well. So I invite all of you to please go check out this channel and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So I think our conversation was about a week ago. So if you're looking back for where we were, definitely back up a little bit before you move forward. So this is
Morning Ramble.
It was a morning ramble.
The morning ramble was the
oh, yeah,
video I made when you suggested that I repeat my prediction.
Yes, your vision that you had was so key at that time. As I said, it was like a omen. It was definitely very prescient, as I would say, and listening to it in the now moment. But it wasn't just the vision that you had of what could possibly be the scenario that we're experiencing. It was your guidance as to how to not be in fear and how to move out of that energy and how to kind of protect yourself energetically. There was a lot of information. I know that your original reading is not something that's available because there were some sound qualities that you experienced in there that you didn't want to publish of it. I thank you for allowing me to listen to it because it definitely reinforced that message of we are not going to respond to this thing with all of the fear. You were talking about coming inside to yourself and coming within for your guidance. Like it was very, very deep. And it was like,
you quoted me and I said, who's she talking about?
Oh, so you know, talking about you, right? So it's like we left ourselves like a note to our future self. Remember to come back within was kind of the ultimate message, right? So as I pop back out here to Nikki's video, let me get here as well. I've queued the video up to kind of where she started with the actual reading. So I'm going to go ahead and let this play here real quickly.
What's the crystal that wants to help us? So the crystal is I don't know how to say it, Damburite, which is number 6.
Oh, I didn't even know Damburite was in here. Wait, let me fast forward. We're going to come back to Damburite because
that's a good stone too.
Yeah, I just got a beautiful surprise. I thought we were here at the Rhodochrosite.
Yourself to basically protect.
There you go.
That red color, gorgeous. Wow. Okay, I have to just check what that is now. Because that, I was like, whoa, that's the heart. So making peace with the past, the heart chakra. Wow. It's a sacred healer for the heart chakra, signaling that it is time to arise from the past. Wow. Patterns that have inhibited confidence and joy for life are revealed, and if you are ready, released. It asks us to remember that we are the physical manifestation and expression of our soul's light here on earth. It encourages us to learn to play and enjoy life, to celebrate the goodness and sweetness of all of the earth has to offer. The divine spark flows through our veins, and if we have forgotten this, Rhodochrosite serves to remind us. During meditation or healing, you can call upon the energies of this wise crystal helping you awaken to love's presence. Wow.
All right. So that was a beautiful message. And of course, I paused because I was like, okay, rhodochrosite 2 times in a row. And then right behind that, I had my experience with the hemimorphite stone. And I talked about that on the video I just published. Again, I'll link this in my comments to this video, because it was another message from the crystal energy, and the hemimorphite was so beautiful, and it really talks about merging the heart and the throat chakra so that your communication is compassionate and yet you're honoring your truth. Beautiful energy. So I love how these opportunities to connect with spirit come if you want to spend the time and to receive the communication. So when you were sharing with me about your rhodochrosite, you said this crystal has a story. It's been with me on my journey. And so I wanted to find out more from you about your use and receiving of that crystal family member. And of course, I wanted to Google and gaga over it some more, because it's just a beautiful stone. So rhodochrosite from Soul Whisperer, what do you have to share? Yes.
Well, this stone, I mean, I was reading about, back in graduate school days, I was reading about crystals. And I think everybody had that book, in it, whose name I can't remember now, by Katrina Raphael. I think her name, that was her name, I think. She had 2 or 3 books about crystals. And I was just getting into crystals. And I went to graduate school in Iowa City, Iowa, little small town, but a wonderful, that's probably one of the best experiences of my life that time. And we had a little crystal shop that opened up in our little teeny tiny downtown called the Vortex. And it was owned by a guy named Jonathan, and I can't remember his last name, and I guess it was his wife, I don't know. But they had all kind of crystals just in the store. And we went, with a friend one day and went tripping into the store. And I was just kind of like, oh, I don't have money for this, poor graduate student, I don't have any money, And so I go in with my friends, and I'm just standing there like bored, because I'm like, I don't want to be here if I can't shop. I don't like going shopping if I don't have money. Window wishing doesn't get it for me. But anyway, so I'm standing there like, and all of a sudden something just made me like angle my vision diagonally and across the store. And this stone was sitting in a glass case. And my eye caught it because of the color, it was as all of a sudden, and this is the best way I can describe this, Joelle, all of a sudden it was as if I had to have that color. It was like I needed to eat this color or subsume it some kind of way. And I went, oh, and gasped and went, running across the store and said, oh my God, what is this? What is this? And Jonathan, saw me and came over there, and he began to talk to me, but I really didn't hear what he was saying. I was just enamored of this stone. And he said, it's rhodochrosite and it can help you and blah, blah, blah. And he was a kind of a salesman, and he was kind of, one of those people that his bottom line was that get that sale. I don't, but anyway, so he was just telling me why I needed it and whatever. But I was so mesmerized, and I said, well, how much is this stone? And he gave me this amount, and I was like, well, that's not going to work, because I got I'm a graduate student. We don't have money. And so he let me put this stone on layaway. And I paid for this stone over, I don't even know how many weeks, until I could get this stone out. And this was the late 80s, early 90s. And it's been with me ever since. And it's as if it soothes me, it calms me, it makes me feel happy, it makes me feel love. I actually feel the love that emanates from it, and it has something for me to do with the color. It's as if the color is like something is eating it, the energy of it in me. So if that makes any sense, but
food for your soul.
Food for my soul. And it's just, everybody that sees it, just is awed by it, because it's so beautiful. Like I say, it's been with me ever since. And I find it a healer for me, a soother for me, and definitely he was right. You know, it helped me so much, and it helps me continually with my own issues, you know, of feeling not enoughness when I get them, you know, not enough feelings of self-love in operation in the moment, or soothing or nurturing of feeling the lack that may still be in me, even as I do my work, you know, diligently. Still bringing up crust and crumbles from the hidden depths of, you know, darkness that we all kind of carry. And so it's still a marvelous healer for me. And I couldn't be anywhere without it. Now, this stone and my celestite, there's so many crystals. I love crystals, but this one for me is food for my soul. I think I love how you said that. A healer for me. And also like, you know, the energy of those of us who connect with Gaia, it's like that. She comes from Gaia. And so she's like, you know, an honorary, here, have a little piece of me. You know, mama energy, nurturing energy, loving, healing energy. So yeah, that's been up a lot lately.
Oh, yes, I think that is beautiful. I think that you will be quite delighted by the additional guidance. I've read part of what I found in my resource library, if you will, my collection of tools. So the other day, I told you as we were talking that one of the tools that I had was this liquid crystal oracle.
Oh, I got to get that.
By Justin Asar. Right, beautiful resource, a return of the Atlantian way for the children of light. And this is what the guidance that I shared in the Hemimorphite video came from. And so, you know, here he channels, of course, the crystal energy and the messages from it.
Wow. Wow.
Self-love is all these signs within this whole thing mean something. So it's actually, excuse me, I feel a sneeze coming. Whew,
Salute.
Thank you. Actually, all of this energy is like a living energy that he channeled forward as an embodiment of this crystal, including the crystal name, which he says is Rhodochrosite.
Wow. I'm loving the language he has in the middle of the card. I'm very much drawn to it because it's like, I know it, but I don't. You know, it's like,
yes,
I recognize it, but I don't know I have no clue what that is.
It is very interesting. And this book, like the guidance before you even get into the card meanings, it's like very in depth in terms of how he has charted and received from the crystals themselves, like even the dots on the corners of every aspect of it is part of the channeling and downloading. And that's part of the beauty. Like you said, you don't have to understand the glyphs in a mental conscious level because the unconscious light body self receives the language anyway.
Yes. Oh, you so well articulate stuff.
Well, the crystal, you know, like you said, it spoke to you in a way that it wasn't language, and yet it was very clear to communicate to you that I belong with you. I'm going to journey with you in the rest of your life capacity, right? You didn't have to have the crystal say, hey, right? It spoke to and pulled you with a magnetic draw that was communicated at a level of the crystal resonance in you resonating with the crystal resonance in it, you know? So when we allow that to come forward and we recognize it as a positive pull, a positive urge, you know, there's no reason why with your budget you would have splurged on it other than it called to your soul.
I had to have it.
It didn't feel right for you to leave without that thing becoming a part of you and bring you home. And now you live in Ecuador, right? And so this crystal is with you. It's been all the places that you've gone to help you as you are anchoring the embodiment of unconditional love in the world. So,
now, who but the Viberarian could say it any better? I don't know nobody. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. The language of light. She speaks it.
Yes, but I mean, it's beautiful to see in true evidence the things that may sound unreasonable, and yet you are a living witness and testimony to what having this companion of crystal energy has brought to the level of your reality for many, many years now. So no one has to test your trust or belief of that because you've experienced it. And so it's not up for debate. You know what I'm saying? It's, no one can tell you, well, you could not possibly have been feeling this crystal.
Oh, no. I don't even have that vibration. That doesn't even come near me. Right. You know what I mean? It's like those people who would do that, they may be on the outer fringes of something. The people that may come close to me and say anything, they want to know, tell me more, where did you get it?
What is that? Oh my gosh, it's so vibrant. And then that opens the pathway for a conversation, right? I love how it has the infinity, even with that 8.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but that's the natural. I always think of owl eyes when I look at this. I love owls. Oh, there you go.
You say you love owls.
I do. I don't have it. Oh, I don't have any.
Don't let me keep going to get more owls from my.
Oh, somebody else loves owls.
To me, this is always the energy of the divine high priestess, the wise owl, wisdom, the silence. They are silent in the woods. To me, it speaks of the high priestess card and the tarot.
So much wisdom.
Energy, divine feminine energy. And so the owl definitely has come forward in my experience as well as a fellow journeyer. And so it's very interesting. Right?
And there's a one of the readers I watch sometimes who on her table, she always changes her table and has different things, but she has this snowy owl that sometimes is standing, and that owl is like, I dare you not to look at me because it's about this tall. And I'm fixated on that owl. When she's doing her readings, I'm like, you want to tell me? I know you have something to tell me.
Yeah, see, I believe that is, to me, the owl is one of the purest representations of the Sophia, the divine wisdom of the creator. We have the logos and the knowledge and wisdom. We have the masculine, feminine. The Sophia is the feminine wisdom.
I know the Sophia, but I didn't know the owl was representative of she. Oh, well, nice.
I receive it as such because
I love that.
This is the secrets of the hidden, the hidden wisdom, which the divine which lies within is what I receive when I see the owl. So the Sophia as an oracle for the divine feminine. The divine feminine shows herself in many, many different ways, from the waters to the airs to the earth, all the elements, earth, air, fire, water. There's divine feminine aspect in all of that, as there is divine masculine. But the divine feminine is like the hawk and the owl, you know what I'm saying, would be the two bird representations, the falcon, eagle, hawk.
I love this, Joelle.
The wisdom of the divine feminine. So it's interesting because when I'm getting ready to do the reading that I have for Rhodochrosite after this video, so this will have been published, and then we'll do the reading, and then I would like to connect with you afterwards to see what information is sparked. But interestingly, when I looked through my resources, I have a set of books by Alana Fairchild, the Crystal Master.
I love her.
Yes, the Crystal Master. Crystal Angels and Crystal Goddesses.
I don't have her decks yet. They're all on my wish list. But she's like, when I get, because it's hard to get stuff here. Oh man, I love her. I'm intuitively drawn to her.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love her too. I'm hoping she comes out. She's supposed to have different numbers in this series that we're to be coming out.
Crystal Goddesses. What was the name of the other one? Crystal Goddesses?
888. Crystal Angels 444.
I need that one. That's
and
my
Crystal Masters 333.
Oh my God. Does she have them for For all the numbers?
Well, she's supposed to be having one that was 777 that she alluded to in here, but it's been a few years, and she started publishing oracle decks based on these crystal mandalas. So I don't know if she's gone a different direction. Maybe we'll get a follow-up and I'll deep dive and see.
Maybe she'll hear this and she'll, come on your
her
show and tell.
Book. Yes.
I just love her. Sacred Rebels. I have that deck on my list. Heal Yourself, I think. Heal. So a bunch of them.
Well, so I looked in all three to see where, if hemimorphite, it did not come up in there, but rhodochrosite did, and it is, let me show you, she does mandala.
Which number?
Well, this is number 3. She does beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Oh, see, I have a visceral reaction to that color, to the energy that comes off of that color. And so, I don't want to show out. Let me keep my composure.
Lady Nada, an initiation of the child within.
Emotional healing.
When we inner child healing, right? So when we connect with the Gaia, the Sophia Gaia wisdom, the divine mother, the divine feminine, the creatress, the empress, the divine wisdom, all of those, the compassion, the mother's love, all these are facets of the divine feminine. So when I saw that Lady Nada and sensitivity was connection with rhodochrosite and emotional healing, I thought that it was perfectly aligned, and I'm very excited to see what this guidance says, because I have not actually read this chapter in the book. There is a book that I want to recommend to you as well called The Sophia Code.
I've heard of that.
Very good book.
Who's the author?
Kaia is her name.
Well, let me find a pen.
And while you're finding a pen, let me share my screen and see if I can add a little bit more to this experience here. Hold on here.
I got to get those books. Ooh.
A living transmission from the Sophia Dragon tribe.
I think I've heard of this person. Does she channel or do something with a partner?
I don't really know. I know that I ordered the book from the Amazon. I'm trying to see if I could just find it on.
Oh, Audible. Okay.
So in this book, there are several transmissions of various aspects of the divine feminine.
Oh, she's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
And one of those is Lady Nada. I think it's Isis. I'm trying to see where the book is, and not doing a good job of it, but we're moving on the flow here. But here we go. Let me just be more specific. So Lady Nada is in there. Isis, Sophia Dragon.
I know Lady Nada.
And it's talking, through the experience of the divine feminine, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary.
Love her.
It's absolutely a beautiful book, and I've read it a couple times now, and each one of I guess the outline of the chapters isn't here, but for anyone who's interested, definitely check this out, because it is a beautiful book, and there are transmissions from each of the feminines at Kuan Yin, Lady Nada.
You have no idea how I feel about Kuan Yin. And since I've been living in South America, the representation of Mother Mary that, because they have two, I think they have two, but this is La Virgen de Guadalupe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have her.
La Lady of Guadalupe?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Here we go. Let's see if we get to the table of contents in here.
I'm going to get this.
So it's deep. So, she takes you through then, you know, the divine feminine emanations, Isis, Hathor, Green Tara, Mother Mary,
Oh,
Mary
Green Tara.
Magdalene,
Mary.
Kuan Yin, White Buffalo, Sophia Dragon. Well, you know what? Lady Nada is not in here, but the fact that I came this way means there's still something informational that is to be
Yeah,
delivered. I was thinking
the
about
feminine, divine feminine energies
yeah.
throughout those different.
Yes. So, you know, Lady Nada making her presence known is going to be very interesting. So I thank you for sparking in our conversation a connection from the guidance that you're bringing forth. And oh, I have to share this, that when we were talking, one of the cards that came up, I was pulling cards as we were having our conversation, and it was the Beyond Lemuria.
Also on my list.
Yes. And the card that we got was communication and co-creation.
It's exquisite art, honestly.
Right. So I knew that, you know, we laughed about it at the time because we thought, well, we're going to be doing something together. We don't know what, but here we are creating information that is really about our own experiences of this information. And if others then are able to align with our frequency and our learning and expanding awareness, then that is a beautiful thing, because it really is still an inside job. All that we are doing is growing ourselves.
All it's ever gonna be.
Yeah.
But you know, so many people, like just things like this that you're doing, so many lights popping up, you know. I laugh back to the day I remember hearing the elder George Bush saying 1,000 points of light. Yeah, but he had no idea, you know, however he was using it and meaning it back in those days was very different from what it is going to be. And
Absolutely.
we say it, we name it, we proclaim it and affirm it.
Absolutely.
And it is done.
And
Yeah.
one of the things that is the beautiful teaching is that, you know, the twin flames, those who have undertaken the journey to actually, through their own life journey, embody unconditional love.
Yes.
We are absolutely moving around this planet, anchoring grid points with our light and our frequency. And I always challenge my clients and even myself to say, the twin flame is not about a romantic fairy tale. It is about the frequency and embodying unconditional love. And many times you and your beloved counterpart will be doing that in different places and in different ways.
Well, if you ever want to talk about that, I can talk. I'm on that journey too. So I definitely, yeah,
and you're anchoring your grid point in Ecuador. You're shining your light with your beautiful crystal companion, which is helping you to receive unconditional love. That crystal has not denied you its energy, no matter what you have felt like, because we are worthy of being persistently and consistently unconditionally loved. So to have a crystal to remind you that you are worthy, you didn't even have to do anything for it to sparkle its little love to you. You didn't have to have enough money to afford for that love to sparkle to you. A way was made for to connect to you.
Because I would never have spent this. I think I don't even want to say how much I spent on this. I never would have bought. To me, that was frivolous. But this thing said, I need this. My body said, I need it.
It said,
and I just couldn't ignore it.
You're worth it.
Yeah. But he made it possible by saying, oh, we can work something out. You know, just pay us something every time. And exactly what I did. You know, that was really a blessing.
And that's such a large lesson, like over time, right? You invested, you made a choice to invest over a period of time in something that was just purely about love. There is no frivolity in that. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that we just need to be aware of is if we're being pushed towards loving things that are not contributing positively to our energy. Because
those days are over.
Well, for me, I still struggle with my love of chocolate cake. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's a whole
chocolate
nother
cake
further.
has a beautiful relationship with me. It comes to me and it
Uh-huh.
never leaves because it stays on my body, right? But it's not a frequency that is actually always balanced. So what I have to do is look at my investment in that dynamic with chocolate cake, right? You know what I'm saying? So why would I be easier to eat a piece of chocolate cake than to invest in a crystal that is bringing supportive energy to me? So like looking at our material, what we do with our material, what we do with our pentacles, what we do with our purchase, our energy converted to money, we have to look at that because we're absolutely indicating where our values are. So valuing health, valuing things that uplift you and that change and shift you for a long term is absolutely okay. And we have gotten to a point where we feel more okay about silly splurges than we do about spiritual investment. And I think that we're now getting an opportunity because of this change and shift to reevaluate our investment schemes in spirit and truth, and to realize that if we're not investing in us, no one else, no employer, no other situation is going to invest in us more than we invest in ourselves. We do that so that we can become the best versions, as Ralph Smart says on Infinite Waters, so we can become the best versions of ourselves.
What
Because
does he say? Can I get a?
yeah, he says, can I get a hello? I love Ralph Smart, you know, definitely diving deep. I love him. He's
Yeah.
positive. That same thing is saying, you know, we are here now. Like the best I can do is to find that consistent, persistent love for myself. And then I will be able to uncover my persistent and consistent love for the world that I see. Right? So that's my little mini message today. I can't wait to get in with this full reading from these two beautiful resources. And I trust that you and I will connect again for the follow-up afterwards and
Love
other
it.
things that we will be co-creating. And to anybody who wants to be part of this co-creation, who is vibrating with the frequency that this is speaking to you, definitely reach out, connect with either of us, subscribe to our channels, let us know that you're part of the tribe. Go ahead.
Look, you met some of the people today, but look up Priestess Heart, Tamu and Gina. She has her own channel too. She does a lot of similar things. Like I'm saying, the only people that I really, you know, these are people who are doing like-minded things. So yeah.
Well,
She's a Libra
definitely.
too.
And all see Libras are all over the place. What can we say? I love it. Libra gang gang, as Joe Man says. But we're all connected through this and we're all contributing our energies to it. We are absolutely the tree of knowledge embodied in our experiences and things that we have collected. And those things are being activated now in order to support humanity as we shift through this time of unmaking and into the great awakening, where we are going to use all of that that is within us, all the tools, all the crystals we've been given, all the knowledge we've given, all the card decks we've given, all the healing knowledge we've been given. We are now bringing that forward in service to uplifting and shifting the entire planet. So I'm very excited to be in this particular moment and very blessed by our connection.
Me too.
So to each of you, I will see you again on the next video. I'll be right back and we'll look to connect out on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. If you follow the Viberarian, Soul Whisperer, is it still Soul Whisperer 999 on Instagram?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll put the links to everything down below so that you can connect with Althea going forward, and we will see you all out in the energetic world.
Thanks, Joelle.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.